Our awards now are for achievement in men's high school coaching. For 14 years, beginning in 1954, Montgomery County residents saw a very familiar sight every year at tournament time. Fans of the Dixie High School Greyhounds traveled together with wooden Greyhound cutouts mounted to the tops of their cars. They were followers of the perennially strong teams coached by Columbus Hines, a colorful Kentucky native who built a powerhouse at the small school in New Lebanon. Under Hines, Dixie had a 277-57 record. Won an incredible 83% of his games. Hines previously had great success coaching 1 year at Likens in Crawford County and 8 years at West Elkton in Preble County. His high school team at Dixie won Ohio Class A championships in 62 and 66 after Hines' 58 team was derailed in the state semifinals. Two of the Dixie stars, Gary Gerhardt and Al Peters, played for Ohio State. Hines' Dixie teams were still going strong when he died unexpectedly at the age of 58. That was back in 1968. Accepting this award on behalf is his grandson, Ron Carter, who used to sit on the sidelines with his grandpa as a young boy. Welcome Columbus Hines into the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame.
Excuse me, on behalf of my grandfather, our family, his former players, and his friends, thank you very much. This is an honor he would have enjoyed tremendously. To go along with his excellent achievements, one thing you would have to say is that he was unique for his time. Coaching for several decades in the late 1960s, he had this strange idea that the most important thing was to put the ball through the hoop. To that end, his teams never walked the ball up the court. They always attacked the basket. They were always, offensive pressure was the thing that they always did. He wasn't big on drills, and he had no rules on conditioning, believing that winning players got themselves ready to play. Much of practice was consumed by scrimmaging and shooting the ball. His most dominant trait, though, was his relentless sense of humor. And much of it was self-deprecating, fueling this perception that he just rolled the ball out on the floor and let him go, and that was it. One time he said, we scrimmaged one team that had a series of plays for zone and man-to-man. I think they used every letter in the alphabet. We used our 1, 2, and 3 plays. Number 1, the first man down the floor shoots. Number 2, the second man down the floor shoots. And number 3, the third man down the floor shoots. Before winning the state tournament in 1966, his team overcame a 9-point fourth quarter deficit and won the regional final with a tip-in at the buzzer. When asked later by reporters, he said, I didn't see the last shot. I was too busy looking over my fishing schedules. Having played freshman basketball at the University of Kentucky, before switching to baseball, he often referred to himself as a missionary who was bringing basketball to Ohio. But behind the humor, he was very serious about winning. Those many hours of scrimmaging, sometimes 2 full games in one evening, were always done with a purpose. The whistle blew often with instruction. He also was one of the best at coaching the offensive game, and he was ahead of his time in using stats and scouting to build game plans. At halftime, when things weren't going very well, it wasn't always fun. My vocabulary became very large at a very young age. But as soon as things cooled down, he quickly communicated all the changes that needed to be done at both ends of the floor. And halftime always ended with a funny quip to take the pressure out of the air. Coach Hines also believed that it was important to play an entertaining style of basketball, and gyms were packed wherever his teams played. And for every 100 games he coached, he won 83 times. Thank you.